actually that would be a fairly universal view among pagans. There is one pagan path, it's called heathenry, and they're the people who worship the ancient Scandinavian and Germanic gods, so people like Odin and Thor. So heathens, there are many different types of heathens. Some wouldn't consider themselves pagans. They worship the gods more directly rather than honouring nature. But they do also honour beings within nature, supernatural beings called wights. So in a way, yes, they are basing some of their practice around nature, but some would put their purpose differently. A heathen would say their purpose in life is to live honourably in a way that ensures they leave a good reputation behind them and which pleases the gods and gods that they serve.
No, I think all strands of Judaism have this idea of chesed, love and kindness. I think maybe the Reform emphasise the natural world, repairing the natural world more than the Orthodox, but the whole point is repairing the world, making it a more perfect place for all of us to live in. That means everybody in the world and everything in the world.
I would think so, I would assume so. I mean, there are sort of broader ideas of what the purpose of life are, things that come out of that. Obviously, first of all, we start with the worship of Allah, and Allah tells us in the Quran that He hasn't created mankind except to worship Him. But other things come out of that, like things to do with kindness to your neighbours and making sure that you constantly strive to be a better Muslim and firmer upon Islam. But at its core, I would think that most of us would agree, because it's quite clear in the Quran what Allah tells us the purpose of life is.
No. Quakers have very many different ways of looking at the purpose of life. I think light can be very important to them. Some Quakers will call that presence of God, spirituality, light, and it is important to Quakers to follow that daily and to focus on light daily and to reflect a lot on what the purpose of light and life is.
I think they would pretty much agree with that answer, because by the very nature of becoming a Baha'i, it means that you've looked into the Baha'i faith, you've researched what it's about, and you subscribe to the tenets of unity, peace, the elimination of prejudice, the elimination of extremes of wealth and poverty, the equality of men and women, and as a way forward to create this better civilization. So I think most Baha'is would agree with that.